Hey yo, what's going on YouTube family? I am Gio here coming at you with a brand new video. Today guys, we are going to do a reaction video. The title is She Rated Herself an 8 and Still Got Humbled. We're gonna see what it is. We're gonna see what the deal is. Before we get into today's reaction video guys, make sure you guys smash that like button, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you guys never miss a video guys. And let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this guys. Drop a comment. I appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado guys, let's get right into the video.
Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. Their looks, physical looks, scale 1 to 10. We'll start with you. We'll go around the table. Go ahead.
8. So 8.5.
I'm a 10.
Oh man, the first problem that I have here, let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I don't want to say it's like a lack of confidence on my part, but I just feel like it's kind of weird to rate yourself a 10, you know, because nobody's perfect. I feel like even the way she said it, like you could tell like she didn't feel good saying that. Just like to rate yourself, I'm a 10. I just feel a little I feel like that's a little strange. Am I the only one who feels that way? Like if someone was to ask me that question, you know, I'm like a 6. I'm like a solid 6, 7.
8.
6.5.
Look at bro, he gets it. He gets it. 6.5. Like I'm not gonna rate myself a 10. That's just a little that's a little strange for me.
I'd say 7.5, 8, 4.
4. All right, you can have a little bit more, you know, but these two guys get it. I feel like these two guys get it. Like I'm not gonna rate myself a 10.
I used to say 6. I'm a 5.
In front of all these beautiful women, how could I ever not humble myself down to a 4, really?
That sounded hella sarcastic. Oh, look at them. Look at.
I've been
Wait, what
getting
did
a
you
little
rate
chubby.
yourself?
6.5.
See, now that's humble.
Yeah, that's humility.
That's
right there.
humble. That's humility.
I've heard
Women
men
not so
have
much.
more self-esteem issues than women do.
What's that?
I've heard men have more self-esteem issues than women do.
I disagree. I struggle with self-esteem issues. Like if I feel like I've eaten too much, I'm like, damn, I look big as hell. When I feel bloated, my stomach's popping out, fucking look like I'm pregnant. I'm like, yeah. I feel like guys are a little bit more like yeah, we look fat, but is it really a big deal? Like it is what it is. What do y'all think? Y'all think guys struggle with self-esteem issues more than girls? I don't know.
And I also heard that they're also more emotional.
Are they?
Who have you heard?
Guys are more emotional. It depends. Like emotional in what way? I feel like guys are probably more emotional when it comes to like guys probably get in more fist fights and things like that, but I feel like guys are relatively better at like if we get in like a little argument with our boy or something, you know, like the next day we're like, stop being a bitch, bro. You good? All right. You know, as to girls, when girls get into an argument with their girl, like they hold grudges, like they're not friends no more. They're like, fuck that bitch. I'm not gonna be friends with you no more, you know. So I disagree with that. Also, I could be wrong too though. I could be wrong. That's my opinion. Let me know in the comments. You know, do not be afraid to leave a comment, guys, and let me know what y'all think. You know, let me know if you're on the same page with me, if you think differently. I would love to hear your guys' opinion.
Well, I mean, you guys will act off based off pride, and that is going to be like an emotion thing, not necessarily logic.
Okay.
Do you think men or women have more cosmetic surgery?
I think probably women.
Yeah, probably women. Do you think that that's because they have way more self-esteem than men?
I don't
point.
think that necessarily what I'm talking about is the same thing. I just mean
Nah,
like,
well, I think it is.
Symmetric.
well, for instance, you just rated yourself a 4, right?
Yeah.
And maybe people may not agree with you, and I just rated myself a 10, and people may not agree with me, right? But we're just talking about simple our self-esteem. My self-esteem is clearly higher.
No,
than yours.
I'm not sure that we are. I think that what we're talking about is a value judgment. And I think that I'm making a way better value judgment than the value judgment that you're making. So the value judgment that I'm making is this. I'm old, and I'm married, and I'm out of shape, and I smoke, right? And I'm not a very pleasant person to be around for long periods of time, especially for the opposite sex. Like, I know all of these things about myself. So my value judgment overall is a 4. Tell me the value judgment of how you came to a 10.
This guy is spitting. Oh my gosh. This guy's older. You know, he's been around the block, you could tell. I'm really curious to see what this girl's about to say right now. How does she judge herself? This guy just made a really good point. Wow.
I just think that in general, we should think that we are great.
Right, so you just...
Oh my gosh, girl. This is the shit that is so irritating. He asked you a question. I just think that we need to think that we're great. You saw how this man gave you examples like, you know, I'm older now. I'm not in the best of shape. I'm married. I smoke. And that's why I came to this conclusion. It's one thing to be confident. I agree. It's one thing to be confident, but don't be delusional.
decided it with, there's no value judgment there. You just decided it.
Yeah, he asked me what I would rate myself, and
Yeah.
because it's my opinion
Looks.
about myself,
Just looks.
it took a long time for me to love myself, and I do now. And so yeah, I think that like, you know, I'm a Misty 10.
Listen, sweetheart. I love myself too, but I'm not gonna sit here and be delusional. I'm not a 10. I don't think nobody is like a solid 10. You know, like looks is one thing, but how's your personality? You know, like you could love yourself, but once again, don't be delusional. Come on now.
I have a question for you. Wait, hold on, just one sec. Do you
And
think?
you're a 7'5"?
I said 8.
Yeah, get it right.
How
Andrew.
did you
get
come-
it
how
right?
did-
Oh my gosh, she got so offended at that. He asked a serious question. Hold on, go back. She got so butthurt at that.
Do you
And
think?
you're a 7'5"?
I think the part that she got mad at is like he chuckled. He chuckled a little bit. Like look at her face right here. Oh my gosh, she got so butthurt. I said 8, bitch. All right, my bad.
I said 8
Oh.
Yeah, get it right.
How
Andrew.
did you
get
come?
it right?
How did you
Andrew.
come to that value judgment?
because I don't put within my value within a rigidity. That's not the right word. Rigidity. Thank you.
Rigidity, yeah.
I don't put that within that rigidity of certain, I guess,
Value judgments.
more subjective opinions about what value is, because I know my value, I know my worth, and I know my beauty that I hold within myself for myself, and that is appreciated by other people. Because at the end of the day, beauty is subjective, and it is absolutely within my right to hold myself to a higher value and how I conduct myself in the world around me.
Yeah, but when you're talking about the value judgment here, my wife, I'm sure that she has a way higher value judgment of me than I have of me. I would agree that she probably should. From her subjective assessment, she probably thinks I'm a great provider. She thinks I'm a great father. She thinks I take care of all of my responsibilities and duties. She can 100% trust me. So she probably has this really high value judgment of me. But when I'm doing an actual assessment of me, like Andrew Wilson, the person, and my looks and how it's reflected outwards to other people, right? I'm adding this value, this value, this value, this value, this value, like a mathematical formula to come up with that equals 4. What are you doing to come up with that other than I just think that we should have high self-esteem so that because I just think so.
Because I know I'm a good person. Because frankly, if we want to get aesthetic, I don't have a busted face. I'm fat. And if people want to reduce my value because of my fatness, that's not my problem. And that is not the ideology I hold for myself. I am someone who is pursuing weight loss, not for aesthetics, not for looks, but for my health. And it is something I'm moving forward with because I have been for the past 2 to 3 years now working on my self-love and loving myself into a place to care enough about myself to take my health back into control. When I was being consistently shamed, when I was gang stalked on r/fat people hate in 2015, when I have
Looks like it worked.
I'm still
Disavow.
speaking.
I mean, it looks like it worked.
I'm still
right?
speaking.
It-
Oh shit. Oh shit. Looks like it worked, right? Oh my gosh. Someone made a website? Is there a website shaming fat people?
It
You
works
get-
because you're going to
You know,
change.
you're really great at over talking and being disrespectful, and I'd love the opportunity to get my point
But
across.
okay, but so just to cut in here a little bit, the original question was rate your looks
Yeah.
because you mentioned your personality. You have a great personality or
wasn't
whatever it
only
is.
And like I
He
said,
mentioned
my
his
fatness
personality.
doesn't devalue me.
Why?
So I'm an 8.
Why doesn't it?
Because I think that fat
'Cause you
can
think.
be beautiful. It's my assessment of my
It's
looks, right?
perceptive.
Yeah, but why
okay.
is it that your
Why
own
ask
assessment
her
of
to
your
tell her
looks
that her
has
perception's wrong?
nothing to do with how the external world perceives you? That's my
Because
problem.
I don't give a
But how
shit.
can you
Right, because you don't
decide?
care, so there's no
I
real
don't care
value
about,
judgment.
I don't care about other people's
how can
opinion
you-
of
how
me.
can
It's
you
not more
speak for
important
the
than the
rest
opinion
of
of
the
I hold of
world?
myself.
Yeah,
and
it
if you
is.
don't- If you don't live that way, that sucks for you.
If there's a value judgment of how you would self-assess your own looks, the only possible conceivable metric I could even think of would be the perception of how other people view you for your value judgment
And
of
I
how
was in a
you look.
relationship for
How would
almost
you
8
know
years with
about
someone
that,
who
though?
thought my
How would you-
body
how could
was
you
the
ever
most
come up with a
beautiful
metric?
thing he
But
had
that's what I'm saying,
ever
you
seen.
decided that was perceptive.
And
You
he
just
had told me
decided
that
those were the things that you
more
were gonna
often
hold
than
on.
not. He had told me that more often
Wait,
than
can
not.
you speak straight into
Yeah,
him?
he had told me that more often than not. I have been pursued by many men who think I am gorgeous and beautiful.
No, for sure. There's guys who like big women. I feel like people shouldn't be allowed on these discussions if they can't control their anger and they can't control the way they talk. She is mad.
I can assume inside of, like, I can envision a world where you're the only human being who's inside of the world.
And guess what? I'll
And
never
if
be
you're
the only one who thinks I'm hot,
you're-
and I know that bugs the shit out of you.
If you're the
dude.
only human being who's
Why is she so pressed? Look at her face.
I'll
and
never
if
be
you're
the
the-
only one who thinks
and
I'm
if
hot,
you're-
and I know that bugs the shit out of you.
If you're the
dude.
only
Look at her face. She said,
human being who's inside of a
Because of
world,
his own
I can
low
perceive.
self-esteem opinion.
I can perceive that I can come up with whatever metric I want for myself because I have nothing to compare it to. So if I have nothing to compare it to and I have nobody else's value judgment, then I can say I'm the most beautiful person who's ever lived, and that would be true. But if I have
He asked
the
us all
value
opinions.
judgment of hundreds of millions of people
do you
to
mean?
compare the standard to, and I know that I'm below that threshold and just decide that I'm above that threshold anyway,
I'm not the only
that's not
person who
based
makes
on
that
anything
decision.
objective. You're just making shit up.
No,
He
I'm
literally
not,
asked us
babe.
our opinion. So yes, it was a made-up opinion from us.
Yeah, it is for sure.
Yeah,
It's
but that
way
was the point.
overstated.
That
what's
was the
true?
point. The only person who's not happy
Your
about that is you.
perception of your truth is not the same for myself or,
Thank you.
or
Amen,
anyone
hella
else.
fact.
Yeah, what is truth in a world
And
that
also,
you're
and,
an 8?
what societal standards in which country?
I must
In
bug the
every
shit
country
out of
on planet Earth, she's not an 8.
Respectfully- Wait, what?
You're ridiculous.
I don't-
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
In
So,
different
let's
places,
be
different
nice.
people
Let's
like
keep
different
things
things.
you. Yeah, he's so combative, bro. It's wild.
Well,
He gets very upset and then he
I
turns
live,
his
I
face.
live in
mad at him,
reality.
bro.
Do you know what
And
reality
that
is?
is the bottom line here, and I've been respectful. We're how many
It's not
hours in?
disrespectful. I'm just telling you what's true.
Oh, what was
I think
the
it's
what
like
was the
the
fuck up about me
energy.
being a mother, bro?
that
the
was
energy
me.
you put towards it.
That was
Bruh.
me
Guys,
being
let's,
able to.
No,
It's
I'm not.
interesting- it's
I'm not
interesting
gonna.
to claim-
I have been taking it respectfully for hours now.
But to be fair, also, it's interesting to claim to be so religious and so close to Jesus
Mm-hmm.
and be so negative.
To tell the truth.
No, I'm just saying, just to be so
What would
negative.
Jesus do? He'd
He
be
would
like,
tu-
"You're a 10,
he would literally
sweetheart.
turn the other
Forget
cheek.
objective
He would
reality."
turn the other cheek.
oh my gosh. Oh God. Don't bring Jesus into this, please. I don't think he's being negative. I think he's speaking facts. He's basically saying, like, if I was speaking only by my perception, rating myself, then yeah, I'm the most gorgeous person in the world. But, you know, it's by society standards. I'm speaking from, you know, society standards. And I think that's what he's trying to say, right? He's like, if I'm being truthful, I'm not the most gorgeous man in the world. They are speaking from only their perspective. She's like, I'm not gonna rate myself by what others think of me, kind of thing, you know.
No, I'm just saying, just to be so
What would
negative.
Jesus do? He'd be
He would
like,
tu-
"You're a 10,
he would literally
sweetheart.
turn the other
Forget
cheek.
objective
He would
reality."
turn the other cheek.
If I believed in
would
Jesus,
turn the
he
other
would love
cheek.
me as one of God's children.
Yes.
He would have known that
Yes.
it's my
Your
journey and my
negativity is
life.
But he would know
embarrassing
you're
to the
fat too,
religious
whether he
claim
loves
that
you or
Yeah,
not.
and you know what? Being fat is not bad.
It's embarrassing, though, to
And
claim
that's
the
the
religion you
fundamental
have.
Oh my gosh. Being fat is not bad. Wow. That was a very bold statement. I'll tell you this. I've never been that big before, but I've gotten to a point in my life where I was big. Like, even right now, I feel too big, to be honest. But there was a point where I was like 220, just fat. And I was eating bad foods, and I felt so uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable because I didn't fit in no clothes. I felt out of breath all the time. I didn't like the way clothes fit me. Like, I just felt uncomfortable. I wouldn't tell nobody that when I was fat. I would never, maybe my girlfriend, I'd be like, damn, babe, I look fat as fuck. But you cannot tell me that someone of her size is comfortable, because you're just not. You walk up a flight of stairs, you're tired as hell. It's probably hard for her to tie her shoes, just to do any type of activity. So for her to say, like, it's not bad to be fat, to be that fat, like, it's not good for your health. That's a very bad way of thinking. Let's just see this again real quick.
Children,
Yes.
He would have known that
Yes.
it's my
Your
journey and my
Yes,
life.
but he would know
embarrassing
you're
to the
fat too,
religious
whether he
claim
loves
Yeah,
you or not.
and you know what? Being fat is not bad.
It's embarrassing, though, to
And
claim
that's
the
the
religion you
fundamental
have.
disagreement we
Which is
have.
how
Insane.
negative you
Just
speak.
fucking crazy.
It is. Yeah,
Like-
there's going to be other people who are going to be like, I don't claim this, because it's like, this is part of the reason why you're hypocritical.
There's
It's
no
for
hypocrisy.
You claiming to love and be this one big thing, and then to be so negative, instead of encouraging or say even anything in actual
Love thy
constructive
neighbor,
way,
unless you're
form of
fat, right?
encouragement
in
is what
actually
she's
a
getting.
constructive way, you kind of just get pink and start yelling.
The only way.
Yeah, he gets real like.
He might have raised his voice, but he was not yelling the way she was yelling. He was not yelling the way she was yelling.
Only way that I can get a word in when you shrill harpies are screeching is for me to talk loudly.
Oh no, I mean, you're really great at over talking. It's one of your best qualities. You respect.
Well, I have to cut down on the prattle. That's true.
I have a question for you.
What?
Do you I think you said women should view themselves better.
Not just women, people in general.
Oh, in general. But so do you think all women should view themselves as 10s?
I would love them to, yes, and not because everyone also agrees with them.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are all women 10s?
I'm attracted to men.
No, I'm not saying whether you're attracted to them, but I'm
Yeah,
sure
so,
you
but
could.
that
I'm
has
sure
to
you
do
can
with- it's
recognize
perceptive.
a beautiful woman.
perceptive.
But do you think all women are 10s?
In their own right, for sure.
Not sure what that means, but okay. Are all men 10s?
In their own right, for sure.
No, but do you think all men are 10s?
In their own right, for sure.
I don't really understand.
I can
For sure.
I can appreciate things that I'm not necessarily attracted to.
The fuck does that mean? In their own right, yeah, they're 10s. What does that mean? What are you trying to say? Like, she's just trying to prove her point so bad to where she doesn't make sense at all. In their own right, yes, they are all 10s. Like, what does that mean? What are you talking about?
Does that make sense?
But do you think?
So in your eye, are all men 10s? Like just aesthetically, so just by looks.
And women.
Okay, so
women.
Okay.
Because I know that someone thinks they're a 10, in my mind, that's good enough to be part of the 10, yes. Would I necessarily date them? Maybe not.
Well-
but as far as like believing they're a 10, I know, for instance, is ice cream bad just because someone doesn't like the ice cream? No, everyone's gonna have their different opinion of it. And so the fact that someone likes green mint ice cream, for me, it might not be my percent, but does it make it bad ice cream? No, it could still be good ice cream. So for that person, maybe they're not necessarily, would I date them, but do I believe they should think they are a 10 is what I said earlier. Yes, I believe they should think they are a 10. I think all people should love
So
themselves.
if we ask the question a
It
different
sucks
way,
so much to not love yourself.
and said if you mapped it onto reality, if you just mapped it onto reality,
Okay,
then
so I
what
was
would you
talking
say?
about some other thing.
Yeah, what would you say then if you mapped it onto reality?
What do you mean?
Are all women's 10 if you mapped it onto reality, rather than how you kind of subjectively feel like they should feel about themselves? If you were to map it onto reality outside of that subjective
I think
analysis,
it would vary depending on where I'm at.
You're in Kazakhstan.
I don't know what the women are
So
like. down there.
so what would you
Pretty
say?
hot, I'd
For
say.
example, what would you
Pretty
say?
stacked.
What would you say Scarlett Johansson would be aesthetically, cross-culturally to most men? Do you think
guess
most
it
men would
depends on
find her
which
attractive?
country.
Russian milk.
It depends on I'm only talking from someone who you guys all would not find to be attractive. Like, I'm not someone you're into, but I know there's men who think that I'm this shit. And different countries I go, like we were talking about it last time, like I might be like, and someone was clowning, they're like, she's not a Seattle 10, but like, I think it really depends on where you're at.
what country could Scarlett Johansson be considered not pretty in?
I don't know, I haven't been to all the countries.
Could you even envision that there is one?
Right. Like, what are you talking about? It depends on what country I'm in. Bitch, Scarlett Johansson, is she a 10? Yes. Like, what are you talking about? This girl is ridiculous. Like, what? It depends on what country I'm in. It depends on what type of mood I'm in. Oh, my goodness gracious.
I could, yeah.
You could.
What would you
could.
speculate?
I would speculate
okay, I
the area where it would be attractive would be in a culture where the people look like that.
So would you say in Europe? Just Europe in general?
I mean, sure, it depends on, I just think
you don't
it
think
depends.
Africa either?
It depends. I'm probably South Africa. I don't know. I mean, it just depends. Like, I'm going to go different places and people are going to receive me different. I was considered to be beautiful in China, but not necessarily someone they would be attracted to, if that makes sense. And when I went to Trinidad, I was the shit. In California, people don't really care that much because I'm not necessarily their societal standards of beauty. So I really think it depends on where I'm at.
Well, that's it right there, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's little reaction video, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on your post notifications. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more videos like this, guys. With that being said, I am Gio is out, guys. Later. Have a great one.